All Formula One teams take a huge amount of kit to every Grand Prix. During the European races, the AT&T Williams F1 team packs everything into transporters, which are driven to the circuits. But for the long-haul flyaway races, everything is sent by plane, and that means a lot of careful packing. And once the team leave for the last 4 races, they won't be coming back until the end of the season. So the final pack-up is the biggest, and no one will be laughing if something gets left behind.
Today we're trying to get all the freight packed for the last 4 flyaways. The freight's going to leave today, approximately 24 tonnes of kit gets packed up and flies off to Singapore first thing in the morning. We also send to each flyaway race approximately 8 or 9 tonnes of sea freight. This was all packed 3 months ago, and for each sea freight there's about 44 boxes of equipment. This is like moving house, except with more stuff.
We've got 1 pallet of mainly bodywork, 1 pallet of mainly car spares. Then we have a garage setup pallet, which has all the overhead pods, the banners, and all the equipment the mechanics need.
Each of the lads has got their own bit, an area and equipment they're responsible for, and they just make sure that they sort of cover their own arse. You don't say.
I have to pack what's called a track shack, which is a mobile workshop. It has numerous drawers in there where I put all my components in, and it's also got a bench space in there. There's not enough time between races to send components back to be serviced for the cars, so we have to take more components, but not many more. All of the pit equipment that I take myself is all the same, whether it's Europe or a flyaway.
Derek, I forgot to ask you, tell us about your socks.
My socks go back to the days of Rothman's Williams Renault, and I keep them for pack-up days especially. Give us a bit of luck. These socks date back to 1997. Awesome, aren't they?
Each department has its own individual box. We then deal with that, palletise it, rope it and sheet it. There's a freight company that will come and pick it up.
All of the freight for the English teams is sent from Stansted. FOM Cargo, they will have 3 747 cargo planes there. The pallets roll off the back of the trucks, and they just roll them in the side of a plane, really.
Probably the busiest day is the first pack-up when we go to Australia, because you've got a lot of new equipment. You may have some new staff on the team. Equipment-wise, you don't know whether it's all going to go in the boxes. And once you go away to Australia, it's a long way if you've forgotten something.
Obviously, the car has the engine in it. It has the gearbox on it. We don't have the front wing and the rear wing on the car. We have like ram bars, because they are very fragile. Although you see them on the track and something goes wrong, and they're very strong with the survival cell. Everything else around it, with a forklift touching it or something like that, it won't take 2 minutes to do an awful lot of damage. We build like a frame around them, which we've made ourselves. We just make it out of alley honeycomb sheet that is fixed to the cars to protect the front, the rear and the sides. So no part of the car can be damaged. We then pull a waterproof sheet over the top of it.
As all the kit is being sent by air freight, it's critical that everything is weighed, from the cars themselves down to the last wing and washer.
When they get to Stansted, the cars roll off the back of the truck. They roll onto the loading bay. They then pick the car up and drop it onto a pallet base. They've then got another one on stilts, so they put another car on the top to get the height. So you have one on the bottom and one on the top. The cars are then strapped to these pallets, and then these pallets are then pushed into the plane in the same principle as the other pallets.
Mistakes are few and far between, but what if something is forgotten?
We'll have a late freight box that goes to each race anyway, generally on the Wednesday or Thursday, and that will be delivered to the circuit by DHL. Obviously, if it's too late, close to a Saturday or Sunday, we either make it out there or make do.
Normally with the racing you find out on Sunday by about 4 o'clock how good you are. You've got a result, whether it's a good result or a bad result. If we put a good car in the box and we send it away, we're going to get a good result. If we don't put a very good car in the box, we're not going to get a good result.
So yeah, it's always easier if you're winning. Yeah, the cars do the talking.
All of the guys that you see packing this freight are pit crew. They will all be in Singapore, they will all be doing the setup, and they've all got a job to do in the pit stop. So ideally, no one gets hurt. That's the main thing. Make sure everything's there and it's all done safely, and to try and get away before it gets dark.
We have a sweepstake where all the truckies, they put £1 in and they decide what time they think we're going to be finished. This is the board with the times on. I'll make it 6:20, He's looking quite good. Bree's going to be driving the forklift so he can make that look as good as he wants. I reckon it might be that one.
But yeah, what time is it now? 6:20? Yeah, I'd say Andy. But if he's not here to receive the money, then the adjudicator has to keep it, and that'd be me. So we'll leave it at that, eh?
I think at the end of it all, we're all mates really, and that's the main thing. You know, we give as good as we get with each other, and I think when you're together the amount of time of the year you are, I think you need that, and I think Frank recognises that as well, because he knows when we've got banter going on, and he knows when we take it seriously as well. Well, I hope so anyway.
I've worked at Williams nearly 11 years. Very proud to work here. It's nice that you see Patrick and Frank around the factory, and you can speak to him, either of them, about anything, and they've got time for you, which is nice, whereas a lot of the other teams, a lot of the decisions are made from people who are thousands of miles away. But no, the decisions usually that need to be made here are made by the two guys that sit upstairs, and you can go and see them and talk to them about things. So that's what I like about Williams.
I don't think I'd like to work for any other team, basically. I've been here 19 years, and I hope I can be here for another 19 years.
I love working at Williams. It's a good place. I just wish we were doing better.
We're done. So, Pete's won.
The day may be over, but the challenge continues as the unsung heroes of the AT&T Williams F1 team head off for the last 4 races and the ultimate challenge of Formula One.